Did you hear me swallow? Okay, I watch a lot of mukbang. I'm going to stop my nonsense right now. So mukbang is something that I watch that's oddly satisfying. So it's just people eating. It's like the ASMR of eating. So you just listen to the sounds of people eating, swallowing, biting into something crunchy. Like, it's beautiful. Anyway, don't mind about what's going on at the back of my head. I just washed my hair and I don't want it to drip on me. But welcome to another episode of In All Honesty. My fabulous name is Olive Orawo. And let me ask, are my stars aligning or what? This is the second episode of the second season of the second month, in the second month of 2022. I mean, maybe Dangote is coming my way this year. Who knows? Anyway, nimebadilisha pedi. Okay, so I promised you that Kare would be coming to this episode to talk about wababes and their experience, but that didn't happen because I was very occupied at work, had a lot. That's my 8 to 5, and also I was occupied in my personal life creating content. I just want to take this moment to appreciate all my followers on Instagram and TikTok. My goodness. It has been so long since I experienced something so overwhelming and something so validating. Have you ever put out something and other people thought that it was good? I don't know what to do. I mean, like, my TikTok people. If I could make all of you mandazis and bring them to your house. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm so grateful for TikTok and Instagram followers. Like, you gas me up so much and my content has been out there and it's doing the most, and thank you. Thank you. We'll know where it's going from here, but I am so grateful. At the moment, I'm just super grateful. Now, this interesting episode is about how I am now not a panty wearer or an underwear wearer or a bra wearer. Basically, I don't wear underwear. So if you ever meet me, the clothes you're seeing on me are literally the only clothes on me. And it's normal now. A lot of people are not wearing underwear, but I still find quite a number of people who are just like, how? So I'm going to talk about my journey into not wearing underwear. And the first question I want to start with now, and this is a question to you who's watching or listening: why do you wear underwear? Honestly, do you have a reason? Please, if you have, please leave it in the comment section. Leave me a voice note, feel free. But do you have a reason as to why you wear underwear? And by underwear, I mean anything beneath. It could be a biker, it could be panties, it could be bras, anything you wear under your clothes so that you can put your clothes on top. I need to understand that. For me, if I look back now, I realize that I honestly didn't have any reason for wearing an underwear. We were just born, we found ourselves wearing underwears, and so we went on and on like that, and actually shamed people who didn't have underwear. And you can't explain why in the first place. But here's the thing. Let's get to my story. I'm going to start with panties and then I'll get to the bras. So with panties, this was in campus. I remember that this time I had a discharge and I was like, I was scared. At the time, I'd never been to a hospital. I'd never seen a gyna in my life. I had never, just so much. So I was scared. I held on to it for a while. And then the day when I decided, let me just go to the clinic and get this done with, the doctor was like, you have UTI, yeast and bacterial infection. I'm just like, wow, all of it. He's like, yeah, all three of them. But he gave me some drugs. Of course, most of them are antibiotics and they're supposed to clear out the infections. They did a good job. In like about 2 weeks, I was clean and happy. And I think in the same week or the following months or weeks, I don't know, it was around the same time. This time my friends were going somewhere and they passed by my house and they were like, Olive, form imetokea twende. And I wasn't prepared, so I just took up some tights and a t-shirt and I wore and left. So when we got to where we were doing our different activities, but I was very self-aware the entire time. So I told my then boyfriend, I need to go back to the house and at least wear a panty, feel ni kama naonekana sana. And he was like, stop tempting me. So he didn't believe me. And then I turned to my girl who was also there and I told her, "Wait, Winnie, me, I need to go back to the house." Because na feel uchi, ni sijava panty, nirudi nivae panty ndo tukuje. And she was like, because her decibels are like up there. Jamani, wasichana. She was like, "Orao, unatembea uchi." Winnie, sema pole pole. And she's like, "Ebu walk, I see." And she's like, "You look normal. I wouldn't have known if you hadn't told me, but unatembea uchi, that's the point. How did you even leave the house naked to begin with?" And I'm just like, at the time, I think I'd have made the argument, if I knew what I know now, I'd have made the argument, I'm not naked. I literally have clothes on. I just don't have underwear. But so that time, I remember that day when I went back home. So I decided if Winnie and my boyfriend had not noticed, then why am I worried? Because at the time, I think I only wore underwear because we were told to wear underwear, and people who didn't wear underwear were shamed. And that was the only reason. So I went back home and I realized, I was like, wait, if today I stayed the whole day outdoors without underwear, nobody noticed that my butt looked different. It didn't jiggle any different. My friends who I was with the entire time, my boyfriend who was in the room when I was changing and leaving hadn't noticed that I wasn't wearing underwear. So why should I wear it if no one will notice? That is when I began to get cheeky. So the days that followed and the weeks that followed, I would experiment. There are days I would not wear underwear and it went okay. So I started experimenting with like different types of fabric. So in the very beginning, I just used to use it with tights, because tights, the spandex is very friendly to like your skin. And so I thought anything that touches the vagina, I think should also be like sensitive and easy on your skin. So later on is when now I started experimenting with other types of clothes. So I'd wear like jeans one day without panties and see, oh, okay, jeans works fine. I put Evo. And then this went on for a while. So it got to a point where whenever I'm wearing pants, I don't wear a panty. And whenever I wear a dress, now I shifted to wearing bikers instead of wearing a panty. And while I was wearing panties, I used to love boxers and Mother's Union because they are so comfortable, man. You guys, fashion trends, nyemjibambe. Me, I prioritize comfort over everything. So, but the boxers, I used to wear boxers, and then it got to a point they started putting that sack in front of the boxers for the men's dick, right? And I was just like, now this looks awkward. But they had introduced like mini shorts for women. I don't know if you remember that kind of underwear. I don't know if they still exist. I don't shop for underwear anymore. So yeah, I transitioned from that to now wearing bikers when I'm wearing dresses. So now I didn't have panties. I just wear bikers. But I had not fully transitioned. So on the days when I'm having my period, because I was still using sanitary towels, I still had like a couple of panties, like 5 maybe, for those days, those 3 days every month. So on those days, I wear a panty and I use my pads. So then I transitioned. Then I met a couple of, old ladies, like ladies who, oh my goodness, you guys still use pads. See, people use tampons. So that's when I started introducing myself to tampons. So tampons, I started using them, but I'd still use them with pads because you're also still insecure. You're just like, what if it leaks? Yeah. And then slowly we went from now using tampon with a pant liner, because now it's just like, it can't leak. Nike leak it. So we went to pant liners. And then slowly I transitioned to, I would use like tampons and wear panty liners or pads. And then on the last day of my period is when like I'd use a tampon only, and I'd keep checking every day. I'm just like, every 2 minutes, is it okay? So then after that, I just transitioned. The first month, I remember it wasn't so long ago, maybe 2018 or 2019. The first month, I remember when I actually used tampons the entire period. I was so happy. I was like, I have cracked the code. I was so then happy. So after that, the months that followed, I just continued to use tampons even when on my period. And now that I'm on tampons, then that means I don't need panties. So that's how that's how I basically just like got rid of all the panties I owned when I finally transitioned to tampons full time. And that is my journey with panties. And it began with just like no one notices, and then you get to realize that there are other ways of just like being with your body. Oh, and the other thing I noticed, why did I even start with that story if it wasn't related? The thing I noticed when I stopped now wearing panties, that time when I was now experimenting with fabrics, when I stopped wearing, I realized I never ever, on days when I'm not wearing a panty, I don't get mad discharge. It had been a while since I got like yeast, like normal infections that women get every month from just, it's not that you're dirty, it's just, they're just infections, we just get them. I didn't get those ones. And so over time, as I continued to not wear my panties, I completely lost all of that. Yeast, UTI, discharge. I literally don't have a discharge right now. Well, I do, but mine doesn't flow outside. So, because people all the time ask me, what about the discharge? Then it goes on your pants and you wash. And I'm like, what discharge? I don't have discharge. So yeah, I do recognize my privilege as someone who's not experiencing discharge on the outside. So I'm not telling you to stop completely, but I know some people who like kind of use the tampons for discharge. So I don't know, like that's my journey towards not wearing any panties. And why this topic is coming up is because I was with someone on Friday, and when I said, I think we were talking about something, and I said, I wouldn't care for it. I don't wear panties. And she was just like, what? Every day? What? Then she was like, what about when you're wearing dresses? I'm like, well, you just wear dresses. I mean, so that was also something else, transitioning from just wearing pants to dresses also. So dresses, for a while, I think I used those two tiny shorts. I'm telling, it's like booty shorts, but then they're boxers, but then they're like, it's a biker, it's an in between. So I wore those with dresses while I was trying to transition. But then when I fully transitioned, I was just like, the first day I walked out of the house with a very tiny dress without anything underneath. And I survived that day and came back home, and I was just like, actually, this works. This totally works. And that's my journey with underwear, with panties to be specific. So I don't have any panties now, and that's the state. And I kind of look back and I'm just wondering, what exactly did I need them for? If I honestly don't have a discharge, there's nothing I need to manage to hold discharge. People don't notice that I'm not wearing underwear, and I don't know if they did notice that I'm not wearing underwear, then what are the repercussions? Why? Now that you know what is, yeah, you get. And third, it's not any sort of support. It's not adding or reducing anything in my life. I honestly think panties are the most useless thing in the world. I can't find one argument, not even a political angle, that justifies why we wear panties. Okay, I'm sorry. If you have, comments, please. Okay, let's get to bra. Now, bra took me a long while, and bra has a story. Because bra for me started from the time I was in primary school. So, once your boobs have started growing out, some cool girls who look like bigger girls have started wearing their boob tops. So I started wearing boob tops, and my breasts were not growing normally. And by normally, I mean they did not look like the breasts that were sold to us on magazines, on TV, by other girls around. And I think for me, my journey around my breasts has been very, very emotionally taxing, because at the time, I remember when my breasts started to grow out, hey, millennials, I don't know if other people experienced this, but when you were growing up, there were myths around breasts, right? So if they didn't grow the correct way, the correct, in quotes, the correct way, it was because you were being touched by boys. And so I remember when my boobs started growing out, and they were not growing out packy, full, together, cleavage. You know how boobs grow out, like succulent and nice and up and firm. So my boobs were not growing up like that. My boobs kwanza had a bigger areola, first of all, not like what we were seeing on being marketed to us. So I can only link it to, so at the time with the rumors going around, I could only link my breasts growing out like that to my cousin who once touched me inappropriately. So I was just like, maybe it's that cousin of mine. But now you can't say, you're embarrassed, So I grew up with that. I think this is the first time I'm actually mentioning it on this podcast. No one has ever known about it. But when I started this topic is when I realized I went back into that moment in primary school where I was so scared to even dress up in front of my mom because, this myth was being peddled even by females who are way older. So if your breasts just didn't grow a certain way, I was just so sure even my mom would think I was playing around with boys. So I just never told anyone, and I just tried to fix my breasts. And fixing it because you're a young child and you don't know anything is trying to make them look okay. So the kind of boob tops you're getting. But I remember I used boob tops until I got into secondary school. And now secondary school, you meet like the cooler girls from Nairobi, Nakuru. Them, they don't wear boob tops. They wear bras, right? So I got into this idea of I want bras because bras then make your breasts look like a lady's breasts. So I went back home and I was like, Mommy, they said they want bras, not boob tops. And my mom was like, are you sure? Why? See, they both hold your breasts. But I was like, it's the school that has insisted that now we are old ladies, they want bras. So I was given money for bras. Where did I go to? Tuskys. Tuskys used to sell these bras that were heavily padded, and then like half of the bra towards the bottom is more padded than the upper bit of the bra. That's the ones I used to buy so that my breasts would look like they're up here. And then I think I also used to buy maybe a size smaller because I wanted my breasts to be together and then like have that, that fancy cleavage that people have. I don't know if you know it. Anyway, yeah, cleavage. So those are the bras that I bought, and I think I was harming myself the entire time. But you're young and you're trying, and no one shows you these things. Any topic around your body parts is a taboo and just dirty. So I tried with the bras, and bras I continued like that. So just trying to fix them. But then it got to a point where it started getting weird because this was now in campus. Because now your breasts, they're not elevated. They're crumpled up inside your bra because they're also tiny. They're like very tiny. So if you sit a wrong way or if your top goes a wrong way, your breasts don't look appealing. They don't look nice now because they look like someone has stuffed tissue or crumpled your skin into the bra. So that was like sort of a challenge. So I think I struggled with that for a while and then left campus. I was working. Now, I remember this week when I decided I want to stop wearing a bra. I think because of the type of bras I was wearing, let me tell you one thing. If you're ever going to gift someone something, a lady, please gift them bras if they wear bras. Bras are fucking expensive. If I wanted to get a good bra, maybe you're looking at 3,000, 4,000, up to, bras can even cost 7,000 shillings a piece. One. Where? So, I don't think I could. I think I knew I wanted a good bra, but I knew I couldn't afford a good bra. So that week, I remember I was just tired because there was this, you know how when what is it? Is it uncuffing? And when you remove your bra, when I would remove it in the evenings from work, I would feel a sharp pain just overcome my entire chest area. And that would happen every evening. And I was just like, This is not a way to live. So one day when I was going to work in the morning, I decided I'm not going to wear a bra. I'm just going to wear a top inside, like a strapless top inside. And then I'll wear now my normal top on top. Because at the time, I don't think I had a spag top. I wanted to wear a spag top. I got to work. And then there's this guy who used to work in the same building as I do. And he found me at the water dispenser. So when he called me, Olive, how are you doing? I rose with my water, and I remember I can't forget that moment. I remember his first glance was at my chest and then back up. And I remember that whole day questioning myself, like, what was he thinking? Was he wondering where my breasts are? Because now with the strapless top inside, I completely looked flat. I completely looked like I didn't have any breasts. So, but the next day I was determined to not wear bra again. So the next day, I wore my normal top, which I think was a t-shirt. Just like normally I always wear t-tops. And I went into work, and I tried to be confident that day. I was just like, I know it can be seen, but I'm gonna wear it. So that day, there's this guy who we worked with in the same office, and this guy, Aki, you know them. You've probably worked with them. You've worked with them. You've met them. There are these people who they're always preachy. They know the right thing. The one who reads the Bible for people in the office. So this guy, I think he met me in the kitchen, and he was just like, endelea kuringa, utanyonyesha zianguke. So I was like, okay. In my head, the entire time, why I'm even having this idea of not wearing, why I'm even questioning, why I'm even doubting why I should never live without a bra is because I know my breasts are droopy. So I'm just like, wait, they're not? Like in my head, zisha anguka. I don't know why this guy is telling me, nangoja kunyonyesha kwanza. So I was completely determined to not wear bras. The third time I remember an incident that I continued. So from there on, I would just not wear a bra. So what I cut off were see-through tops. So all my chiffon tops were not wearable anymore. But the ones that are just like solid colored or like solid fabric, I just wear and leave. And there's this time when we were going in for team building, and while I was walking towards the group, I just got to, I think I got to them, or that girl even came to me. I don't remember. But I remember the surprise where she came almost to like cover me up, to show me, to tell me to stay alert. And she came and told me, Olive, you're not wearing a bra? And I was like, yes. So she asked, are you aware you're not wearing a bra? I'm like, yes. It's not like I was in a hurry and left the house in a hurry. I am aware I'm not wearing a bra. And she was just like, but I can see your nipples. And I'm like, yes, you can. So it was really weird, but I like struggled through that day. But I was just like, I'm so determined. And my boobs are tiny, so it was a day that had a lot of activity. So I wore a spag that would hold it, like a well-fitting spag. And I got through that day. I got through it. And then after that, now I was just very confident. I just never wore a bra again. I just lived my life and wore all sorts of things. And the comments I get most when I just approach people and they realize that I do not have a bra is, we can see your nipples. And I'm just like, I think that's the most weird thing right now, because even when we have this movement of people, I don't want to call it a movement. There are people who are now just liberated and just don't want to wear a bra for the sake of it. And now they've introduced these, like some tape or some sort of like rubber that you now put on your nipples. Like you're not wearing a bra, but you just put on your nipples so that your nipples don't show. But every time someone asks me, but we can see your nipples, my first question is usually, why do you expect to see breasts without nipples? Like, it's like saying, Olive, that's your hand. I can see your fingers. I don't know if you're getting the point. Breasts have nipples. You can't have breasts if you don't have nipples. Like, breasts come with nipples. My point is home. Breasts come with nipples. Don't expect to see breasts and not see nipples, yeah? So that's basically what it is. So I'd like to hear your stories as to why you still wear bras and underwear and panties. But for bras, I must say, let me start with this. Let me just put this across that I do understand my privilege. With bras, I do. First of all, my breasts are the tinier side of breasts, so it's not a baggage I'm carrying around. I do understand. I have friends who are a bit more endowed, and it's not only at it for aesthetic reasons that you're wearing a bra. Sometimes it's health-wise, because especially if you have very heavy breasts, you even tend to have problems with your back. So it's not a privilege that everyone can access. So I do understand that sometimes some people are wearing bra for basically support. Some people like it because, it's the way it makes your cleavage look and everything. It makes sense. I prioritize comfort. Also, the other thing that I know I would state as a privilege for me when it comes to bras is the self-confidence that I've gained over time. I do understand that everyone is working on a certain insecurity. So breasts for me were an insecurity for a very long time. So this entire idea of even the courage and strength to just walk around without a bra for me was when I had realized confidence in self. I had become the woman that I love being. I saw parts of me that were flawed, but there are parts of me that I continued to love. So it also comes with a journey of just self-love, and what people say around you doesn't really affect your esteem. And I do understand that some people have not gotten to that level, and therefore if the society requires you to wear a bra, even if it doesn't make sense for you, you haven't gotten there yet. And that is okay. So I'm also not here to tell people, stop wearing bras, stop wearing any sort of underwear. No. Whatever makes you comfortable. I'm just here to share my story because I meet a lot of people who are just like, how the hell are you walking around naked? I'm not naked, girl. I'm wearing clothes. I'm just not wearing heaps of clothes. I'm not layering clothes, but I am quite dressed. So yeah, that is my story that is my story for how I got to this point where I don't wear bras and I don't wear underwear. So I really love it. I don't think I would. There's this time, this was very recent. Last week, I tried wearing a sports bra in the house. I was just like panting for hair. I was just like, I can't breathe. I don't know how you guys do it. I honestly cannot do it right now. And just to give you a few tips on this very same topic, while I was watching Over 25, when they brought in an OBGYN, she noted that if you wear panty liners every day, then your vaginal area stays dry. And that means that your body is then triggered to create more secretion because your area there should not be dry, okay? So that is why you might find yourself having more discharge, but that is in some cases. I really would not know. So you consult a professional, but that was one tidbit that I just thought I should mention, especially in this topic. But that's it. Living a free life with not many clothes. Anyone who knows me knows that I really do not like clothes. So if I can wear as less as possible every single day, I would. And with that said, thank you so much for listening in or watching, and follow me on TikTok, Oliver Rao. I'm also putting up major mad content up there, and we'll see where it goes. But for now, I hope I can get Esther, Faith, and Kare next week on the podcast for discussing wababas and the way they behave. And if I do, I'll be so happy. If I don't, see you again next week. But I love you. I gotta leave you. And stay kind, be nice, stay happy. Just know that you are an amazing person. Okay? Bye.